Okay, guys, we're back. Of course, we got all the bell housing bolts out except the one. What I do with it, I threw it somewhere just to show you how we had to destroy it to get it out. And of course, it was in this corner right here, down in here. So we got a big slice in it first, deep, and then we started hitting it on the side to try to turn it. And it takes some pretty good wax. Once it kind of pops, then you can put your extension back in and Torx and tap it back in and get it out that way, but it's got to at least pop once. Like I said, these bell housings here are thinner than the later version. That the splines go all the way to the end. Takes a totally different converter. Got our nice seal retainer that falls right off. Yes, I ordered it. Actually got a new wiring harness here for that too. So we got parts coming in every day. Every day. I tell you, I'll give a big shout out to old Raymond over at Transtar for sure. That man will go above and beyond to take care of us over here. Dipstick boot.
Barely moved.
I think so. They didn't really tell me. They just told me we were going to be surprised.
I don't like surprises.
Of course, it's just got a stock servo in it. We can fix that up. They say the shift kits, when you put them in, sometimes you don't need a Corvette servo. So you can physically make one of these shift way too hard. Think there's anything in the pan? Oops. Got a different pan bolt in it.
Oh, goodness.
Look at the size of them magnets.
Oh, my goodness. I'd say she's a little silvery. Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Goodness gracious.
I mean, that's deep. That's probably like deep. Wow.
Oh,
Look.
my goodness. No wonder it was barely moving.
Yeah, that filter's totally stopped up. I wonder where that all come from. Out of the transmission, right? Or did it come out of the torque converter?
I don't know. You tell me.
Probably the converter. Probably the converter. Say this is a real early design. They actually, the 4L60Es, they made them non-removable bell housings, excuse me. For a little while, made just this same shaft and everything, and then they went to removable bell housing, same shaft, and then they went to the thicker bell housing and changed the shaft. So we got our PWM solenoid here, kick down the solenoid here. Now you notice here we do have the later version of the pressure control solenoids. Connectors on the side instead on the end. Pillow switch. Neutral safety switch. Well, it's good. We just cleaned our solvent machines out and stuff, and because it's going to take every bit of that to get this unit clean. Nose itching.
Somebody must be talking about you.
Something. It's got to be good. Have our bolts out of there. I bet this thing's gonna be packed.
Well, you can see it. Look at it on the side. Oh, yeah.
All that down in here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that still amazes me. Look at that.
Just throw it away and
Yeah. I mean that's like driving them to the end. Let me tell you, definitely. See if we got anything in here. But they said GM makes you wonder on the reman, do they put new aluminum forward pistons in? Of course they don't. It's back to the plastic. We have all new aluminum pistons to go all through this tranny. So customer bought all those too. So probably been hot, hot, hot. No gaskets sticking pretty good. Nothing's been done to the lockup system on it, so we're definitely going to change that. Bore still looks good. Scotch-Brite that up really nice. You can see here the side mount style. Pressure control solenoid, the early style has 2 pins sticking out like this. Pretty simple. Plate looks really nice. Still, balls haven't started beating through the plate or anything yet. Looks really nice. Doesn't look like any modifications to these holes here. That looks just a stock plate. Valve body and case gasket is right there. Round hole, square hole looks nice there. So make sure this one was done right too, if I can piece it back on there. Round hole, square hole, so that's right. So we can block this accumulator here just like normal. Just like normal, huh? We do every one of them, so. The last one we did, they had a check ball bead in there, and it's just easy to just stack 2 pistons. And that way, if you ever wanted to go back, you could. You said that had fluid, and boy, it's got all kinds of everything in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Same here, you want to always Scotch-Brite your surface up in here so your new seal has somewhere to ride. Put a new piston in here. My gloves are dirty, but we always clean our parts anyway. So you can see the difference in the length of that to stabilize that piston. So you always want to upgrade that. Shift kit's going to have different springs for this. Got our manual valve rod. Always turn the output shaft and hold the lever and it'll lock right in there like that. And then you can get to these bolts. Just like that. This is one nasty transmission. But I tell you, when we get done with it, you'll be able to eat off of it. It almost looks like the bell housing was loose right there, kind of like aluminum moving.
Yeah.
But as tight as them bolts were, you wouldn't think so, but look how gray that is right through there.
Yeah. How did it get in between there?
Yeah, like I said, it looks like it's been flexing.
Yeah.
We see that a lot in the diesel bell housings up against the motor. That bolt's can be tight as ever. And when you take the trannies off the back of the motor, you can tell it's like the bell housing's been moving. See the O-rings on here. So your kid will come with new ones, put them on there, and then still put some sealant around them.
I think that one's going to be hard to get out.
There's no bolts. I was fixing to say that ain't even moving.
No, not moving at all.
There it goes. Man. threads there a little bit. See if I can get my.
Oh.
Sometimes you just got to get in here. Man, they must have put that in there pretty crooked. Or didn't have a pump alignment tool. Let me hit that too hard. Let me find my that's all corroded through here.
Yeah.
Oh, it moved a little then. Let's try it the other way. This way first. Man. Do not want to come out, does it? To make a puller, I actually have it. You can clamp on this and physically clamp on it instead of your hook style.
Wow.
But I ain't had to use that in so long then. Man. Sure ain't a bolt in there?
No.
That's crazy, huh? I mean, at least it moves. But boy, it ain't moving over here.
Not much.
Uh-uh. That's what's crazy. Wow. You would think that thing, as far as it's moving on this side,
Moved a little.
yep.
There's so much garbage up inside of that though.
Yeah.
That's why it won't come out.
Man.
There's so much stuff up in there.
I'll just wipe the whole dang pump out.
So maybe you gotta get your pump tool.
Well, I haven't used it so long I have to find it.
Oh.
See if that thing will move that.
Oh.
Something happened.
Maybe. It's just gay.
Yep, something.
Yeah,
All right.
there it goes. Okay,
Well.
you gonna get a workout today.
Yeah,
Yeah, look out. Is it dirt?
that's how much dirt's around that O-ring and stuff.
I guess so.
Mm-hmm. I just,
I wonder if this has been a river toy.
you can just see all of it through here.
Mm-hmm.
And two, it doesn't look like the pump body was lined very good, possibly,
Yeah.
and rubbing hard on the case.
Yeah.
See, like they
Kinda tear
tapped it in. 'Cause
Tear
we
up
have
the
a band. Yeah. Well, it won't tap the case, but You definitely want to Scotch-Brite this up right here when you put your new seal in around your pump here. So, but we have a band we put around here that lines that up. That's good down in here where the sealing rings run. Just remember, if you ever do any prying or anything to get your pumps out, you want to make sure you don't damage these little orifice cut plugs here. This actually has a little check ball in here that has the seal right there. Now we can use our Sonex vacuum tester and we can physically reseat that and test that and see if it leaks. So you just want to check them because it don't take much to damage them.
That was weird. That's never come out on there before.
Now, of course, the pumps, this piece is totally wiped out the stator. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely going to have to check the cooling system out in this thing, because that's probably all converter metal, I would think. You know, unless it's planetary back here, because we did see a lot back here, but man, it's just hard to say until you get in there. Look how much metal's embedded in that bushing. That's all metal embedded in that bushing. You can just grab it.
You can hear it.
Hear that? So I'm sure that converter probably spit all of its guts out into the tranny. The body's no good neither. So we definitely got to put a complete pump there. Have our stock band. Of course, it's toasted. You always want to check your drums on these little V6 trucks like this, because they really like to shift out a little bit farther, later higher RPM and stuff like that, so this drum spins a little faster. Then you get fingers flaring out, same way with your shell, and it starts rubbing on the case. So you always want to check that. Make sure they're not doing that. Put you a flat edge, check the, see if it's bowed. Yet to get to the carnage though. Trying to get some hot spots on our steels. So once that filter started plugging up, tranny was done. Ooh, this drum almost feels twice as heavy, like it's full of metal. I mean, it does. It's just like it's heavy, heavy.
Really?
Yeah, like it's just, you can see all the metal in here on the clutches. See on the steels right here?
Oh yeah, you can.
See, it's just sitting there.
Yep.
So you know this drum's gonna be just full of it. Still have our load springs. Actually still look pretty decent. We like to put them up against the new ones that we got over there and just see if we can save any of them. So,
Most of the time you can't.
no. 3/4 clutch is gone. Well, they got that snapper and they're buttoned up against each other trying to come out. The ends are. The two ends were touching, like the snap ring's too long, but I know it's not. So you want to check all your bearings, because you know this as much metal's in this thing, you're probably going to replace all of them. The clutches are still there. There's tons of metal all over them though. Oh my gosh, see, I mean, it's weird how this drum tracks all the trash. See all that? All that is just all that metal. This whole drum is just embedded
Oh,
with it.
yeah.
That's why it's heavy. It even feels heavy. Even when I get the bonded pistons out, there's so much metal under these pistons. I mean, you can just scrape it out. You almost ruin your solvent just by cleaning this one drum. So what we do is we have another solvent tank over here. We'll clean all this out first before we finally get it in our final solvent tank and finish cleaning it up. That way we don't contaminate it. So we don't clean all of our parts just in one tank. What the sprag looks like here. Got a lot of wear right here.
Yeah, you can see it.
So anytime you have a brass style ring here, you're going to see wear on that hub right there. You can see here that's just, I can try to wipe that off a little bit, but it's just wore this plumb out. See? And it's got a groove where it'll lock right on there instead of spinning like that. This one will set on there and it'll physically lock in a groove like that. So, but the new ones we put in there, still a double cage, no plastic, but it's got like steel washers in it. So look here at your inner race, make sure it looks good. All your gears you're definitely gonna have to look at, see if there's any metal embedded in them. Same here with this outer race, you want to check it. See if it can scotch right up. Pretty nasty, huh? Band anchor stuck in there. There we go. Teresa, how does this one smell?
Actually, not bad. I'm kind of shocked.
Yeah, because so far it's just we haven't found anything that's just totally burnt up. It's just metal contaminated, like something failed and just filled it full of metal so fast it just stopped instantly, just about. Snap ring. Now it does have a roller bearing hub here that we were going to replace anyway. He did send one. But a lot of times when you take these apart, you always want to look here at these splines because most of the time they're wore out really bad through here and you can see the wear already. So definitely want to put a new one in here. You see here. So once they get contaminated with metal, boy, it don't take much to just start grinding on stuff. Metal's not a very good lubricant. Seems like, huh, Teresa?
Neither's water.
Neither's water. Yeah, we found that out too, huh? So we got looks like a hardened shell possibly. I mean, you can see the metal just down in here even, see that? How many hours do you think it takes to clean this tranny up, guys? Where you're satisfied, where you know you can put it in and it'll just click right off. That is one nasty tranny. Your clutches here don't look too bad. They'll reverse. Got your wave. Of course, we're going to leave the wave in. Our little Jeep tranny that we just did before this one, our 4L6D, we took the wave out on it. It's a rock crawler LS swapped vehicle. Is pretty nice.
Other than the
Tight fit. It's a tight fit. Like I say, you got a new roller sprag assembly over here. Clean this up. Looks good still where the clutch runs. Look at your sun gear. So we replace 90% of these every time. You just have to look close. Next thing you know, you'll find one tooth that's got it's starting to deteriorate. The hardening's starting to go away. So you definitely want to replace it because you know it's going to happen on down the road. Of course, you're playing it. You want to look at this really good for any wobbling. See, look at that, wore out. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
This, look at this. Tight, tight, tight. Look at that.
Yep.
Totally wore out. So even if the Planet was good, we would have checked this bearing right here, because as much metal as it had in it, this bearing right here could have took a hit and be damaged. So same way with the ring gear, you want to check it. It usually starts wearing about halfway and up towards the top. And on this side, not so much on this side. So you want to check that really good. This piece here where your bushing runs in the case. The output shaft. And I would look down in here still and just look and see how good the lugs are where your support runs. Looks really good here. A lot of times they'll wear crooked. They'll look good over here, and on this side over here they'll be wore. So you want to check them all the way around. So it's a mess, guys. How long do you think it'll take to put this together? Easy 6 hours to start to finish to clean this train wreck up and get it back together. Teresa, you know, we thank you for videoing. You're the best. Annie, she's ready to hit the road already, guys. But hey, don't forget to subscribe. Push that notification bell, because Trent's out there and Cody's out there dropping them like flies. So y'all have a great day.